when I dipped in, it was all happening. It was escalating. More women coming like chooks. And she said to me, I just worry, and it must have taken her so much courage to say this, I just worry that you're marrying the first man who's told you he loves you. And now I think she was right. Can we be real, Bags? How you going?
Body language. We've got the body language
We're mirroring
going.
again.
What's going on there? We're liking each other.
We're liking each other.
We're liking each other's work.
We're on the same page.
We're on the same page at the moment.
Yes.
But you've got your arms crossed, which means you are defensive. So you're what are you defensive about?
I don't feel like I'm defensive. Sometimes it's just comfortable, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's very masculine, I think.
Also, when you're sitting in a chair and you're on camera, do you find it hard? Like, what do you do with your hands? I've been
do the Oprah. Pull your shirt down.
Right, okay.
Yep.
If you want to watch this on YouTube, you can now just search Can We Be Real on YouTube. Or
but we don't have a monitor
well.
here, which is good because, on TV you have a little TV down there in front of you where you can see yourself.
We've got cardboard boxes down there.
Which I much prefer.
Do you?
Yeah, it's very off-putting. This is why Oprah was forever tugging at her clothes. It's very off-putting and it's distracting to see yourself.
Did we decide on the uniform for the podcast?
I think we did, without speaking it through, without talking it through.
Interesting.
I think we've both gone...
Because there was no text message, there was no nothing, and we both turned up every single episode with the same outfit.
We've just both gone Brunswick waiter. That's the look
Brunswick
we're going
waiter.
For. Or here in Sydney, Newtown waiter.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah, would we?
Yeah.
If
Newtown,
I came over to your table and
Marrickville.
said... Yeah, if I came over to your table dressed like this and said, do you want any drinks to start, guys? Any drinks? Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
You'd give me an order.
What about in Brisbane? What's going on in what's the suburb in Brisbane? That's
New Farm.
New Farm,
Tenerife. G'day, guys.
That's expensive there now.
Yeah. It's today's specials. Do you want to know the specials?
Yeah. By the way, live show coming up in Brisbane in a few weeks' time. So if you want to get your tickets, if you're watching on YouTube, just link in the bio to get your tickets to the live show.
Please do.
I think it's almost sold out.
Listen, Ben Affleck has spoken for the first time about the divorce with J-Lo. And he said,
what?
It's embarrassing. And good on him. It is. It is embarrassing. We all know it's embarrassing. And he's front-footed it. And he's gone, yeah, it's embarrassing. I get it. And it's made me think about embarrassing exes. Like, I know he's not specifically saying J-Lo's embarrassing. In fact, he's going out of his way to say, look, she's a top bird. And I have nothing but respect for her. But the whole scenario, of course, it's embarrassing that we broke up.
Do you think that celebrities always have to say that? Like, they always have to say that they're ex, they're great, they're amazing. Like, they can never say, look, they're a fuckwit.
Yeah.
They can't. You don't really see a celebrity, especially a big celebrity at Ben's level, ever say their ex is a dick.
And you wouldn't say that about J-Lo, for goodness sake.
Oh, because, you're going to get bloody pile on.
Yeah, and she's a great woman. I mean, but the whole thing... I don't know, it's funny with J-Lo, isn't it? I think we're agreed as a species that she's a great woman. She's a great bird, but...
She's a great bird.
But no one wants to buy tickets to see her show or buy her music or watch her documentary or her movies. She's in a funny space, isn't she?
Although Mother-in-Law was a great movie.
Oh, God. How long ago was that? Oh, my God.
Have you not seen that?
No. I don't think I have. Is that the one with Jane Fonda? Yeah, then I have. I have seen that one. I love
great
Jane.
Movie.
Yeah, love Jane.
Not J-Lo.
I do. Great bird.
Yeah, great bird.
But I'm watching it for Jane. I'm like, oh, Jane Fonda's in a new movie, and it's with J-Lo. Okay, but I'll watch it.
The only thing
Jane Fonda's wigs, I'll watch for that alone.
Yeah, the only thing I ever see about J-Lo is her age and then how she looks.
Right, absolutely. It's all about look how good she looks for this age, and it's been that since she was in her 30s. Hey, everyone, now she's 52. Look at this for her age, and she's trying very hard. And again, I don't fault her for that. Good for you. Jennifer Aniston, similar. It's like these are women who are putting in the work. They do look great for their age. All power to them. But J-Lo, I don't really need to watch anything she's working on. Do you know what I mean? I'm here for the outfits. I don't need to keep tabs on what she's working on. But then she made that terrible, I never saw the movie she made. Remember when she was with Ben and she decided to make a movie, a documentary called The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which is bizarre given how many stories there have been about their love story. It's like, never told J-Lo? Just Google it. It's told a bit. She's like, no, it's never been told, so I'm going to make a documentary and a movie. I never watched the movie, did you?
No.
I did watch the doco.
Yeah, right.
And we all knew from the outset, this is how much your story is told, J-Lo. We knew in real time while you were making the documentary that Ben didn't want to be in it. Like, we all knew that. So when it finally came out, we're like, okay, let's see these Ben bits that she's shoehorned him into, made him be in. And he's sitting there smoking, going, yeah, I reckon you should do it, babe, if you want to. I got to go. That's kind of his big scene in it. But it made me think about embarrassing exes. Like, I've had a few. That, yeah.
Your husband.
Embarrassing.
Well, I don't think so. Was he embarrassing? I don't think he was embarrassing, but you did stick around for a long time, 22 years.
And I think part of it was...
What was embarrassing about him? He wasn't embarrassing.
So much. But let me tell you about my husband, or not about
Your
him.
ex-husband.
I can't... Yeah, my ex-husband. I just don't even want to go into it. But when we first got together, I was very close friends with a couple who I still know them. They're about 10, 15 years older than me, right? So I'm in my early 20s. They're in their mid-30s. And I spent heaps of time with them. And they couldn't stand him. And they were very obvious about it in a very masculine and feminine way. The guy just would almost call him a fuckwit to his face, but was just very blatant about just eye rolling and just not into it. The lady said something to me that has haunted me a lot. She said to me one day when we got engaged, when we said, we're going to get married, she was like, and she said to me, I just worry, and it must have taken her so much courage to say this, I just worry that you're marrying the first man who's told you he loves you. And now I think she was right. At the time, At the time, I was offended, I was defensive, I was 22.
This is the downside to having a personality like yours, I think.
Tell me.
Well, people would fear telling you that. No,
I was
think
22.
About this. No, but you still would have been bold and saying, loud.
But also I was in love with someone. So I think it's hard to tell anyone that the person they're in love with, you think.
It's very hard. But then put on top of that, I don't think they're like, oh, she's going to kick off if I say this.
Kick off, but I was just really hurt. I was just wounded that they didn't like him.
Yeah.
But now I see, oh God, she was right. She was a real friend.
And when do you see that only after the marriage, or were you seeing that towards the end? Were you thinking, hang on a second?
I don't know. I think
Are you still friends with this lady?
Yes, but not as close. We obviously drifted apart after I got married.
Have you called her and said, hey?
No.
That you were right.
I might send this video to her. But we still interact a little bit. But yeah, no, you're right. I should actually say to her, hey, do you remember this? Because you were right. And it was a really brave thing to do, I think, and it was a real friend thing to do, because she was a real mentor for me because she was older, and she is so cool, so many cool friends.
But how could she be so, how does she know what's right at the time?
Because she knew me very well, and she knew about my background. I confided in her about a lot of things, and I think she just knew. She just thought, you just want to be told someone loves you. And she was just trying to say to me, because she'd had a lot of relationships, and she was just trying to say to me, this isn't the last time this will happen, Like lots of other men will tell you they love you. You don't have to.
Do you think that a lot of people make this mistake in their 20s where they just say yes to the first person that says, I love you?
I wonder.
And then this is why we see a lot of divorce as well, because, in their 30s and 40s, they realise, heaps of people are saying they love me. So I've got options. And I can,
I wouldn't be impressed.
Because everyone loves you.
Yeah, right. So, but even now, if a man tells me he loves me, I'm not that impressed. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you? Basically, yeah. Great. But it doesn't make me want to hold on to them and get married. And I think, I was very graspy back then, if it's what we'd call it in Buddhism, actually, grasping. So, yeah. So that's embarrassing now.
Yeah.
But you're right. I should confront it with that lady and thank her.
And so do you think that Jennifer Lopez is looking at Ben as an embarrassing ex?
Yeah, because I think she's probably embarrassed that she believed in him. I think from a woman's
perspective,
time around,
that's
right.
Well.
I think the first time he dumped her at the altar, that should have been it. But she's thought, it's 15 years later or 20 years later or whatever. He's grown, he's changed, he's ready now, or whatever other bullshit he told her. And she's believed him, and I think that's embarrassing. And he says it's embarrassing because they knew each other so well. He's like, you know what? When you go into a relationship like ours, you can't pretend you didn't know the other person. I can't pretend I didn't know that she loves paparazzi, loves sharing our lives on social media, loves all that stuff that I hate. I can't pretend I didn't know that. So that's why he thinks it's embarrassing. I'm sure she thinks it's embarrassing that she trusted him. Maybe I'm projecting onto her, but that's what I imagine. But, you know, I've had other embarrassing relationships where all my friends have gone, him? What are you talking about? And I've gone, no, you don't understand. You don't know him like I do. And they're like, oh my God, just embarrassing idiots.
Okay, so now what's your radar doing? Like, are you watching out for the...
Yeah, look,
are you checking in with your mate now and going, ring this person. Ring this. Next time you've got a bloke in, orbiting.
I don't want another embarrassing boyfriend. That's what I've come to. I've come to this realisation that now I'm just like, he just has to be cool in some way. Like,
give us your list. What's on the list of five things that they need to have?
He has to pay tax. He has to have a job and pay tax.
This is a low bar here.
I know it is, but from my background, it's significant.
Okay.
He has to have his own job. Not rely on me for money. That's part of that.
So it does seem very financial here.
It is, right? So that's what I've attracted. Financial abusers. And I just want someone impressive. I want someone that other people are going to, because I'm not going to have...
Like a Mark Boris.
Mr. Boris.
Mr. Boris.
Okay, well, that's our benchmark, and we all know that. Employed, smart.
No, he owns his own bloody business. He's got a bloody house at Byron Bay.
Smart. He's impressive. If I walked into the Altona Sports Club with Mr. Boris...
I don't think Mr. Boris is ever...
He would come. No, he's a working class guy. He would come to the Altona Sports Club.
I think he's from Dubbo or someone like that. So you're probably right. Where's he from?
I think he's from Mount Druitt. Mate.
Mount Druitt. Yes, of course.
He is a
rough and tough.
Right. Yeah. Which is what I love about him. To be honest, a little bit of street trade about Mr. Boris.
Yeah.
Love that. And
self-made man.
Yeah. He would love Altona Sports Club.
I wouldn't go
Saturday night.
Love. I think he would. I think he would say yes.
And he'd love it when he got there. I'd say you'll
what's
love
on, What's on offer there? Like, is there a dance floor?
Yeah, and there's a band. Just doing, walking on sunshine, that sort of thing.
Well, that's probably
great food. There's a raffle. Yeah.
Okay, so just tax. Good job. Mark Boris vibes.
I want him to turn heads at the Altona Sports Club.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask? I want the other women there to go.
You want them jealous?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So...
How do you know when other ladies are jealous?
Oh, you get the vibe.
What do they do?
Look. It's just all in the eyes. Women know it. Women know the look.
And what kind of face do you pull when you know that they're jealous?
When I know they're jealous?
Yeah. What about the overbite? No, okay, maybe not.
No,
it's a bit aggressive. All right.
Yeah, that's the face I look at when my dog's barking too much. I kill it.
Yeah, okay.
Don't you have an embarrassing ex?
No, I think I'm the embarrassing ex. I don't think all my exes are great because I've never done the breaking up. They've always done the breaking up with me.
Wow.
Yeah, so they'll always say, oh look,
I've always
you met one of my exes, Emily.
Yes.
I think she's married with kids now. All seem to move on with the mature guy, and I'm still out here.
Are you the guy they go out with before they get married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a movie about that.
Yeah, well, I had a girlfriend like that, and it was very sad. She's married now, but she had this string of boyfriends who just wanted to be super casual and then got married straight after her. Mm. That's harsh, isn't it? That's painful.
I mean, I'm married now, and obviously I'm on some kind of track.
Yeah.
Getting there. I'm 40.
Yeah.
Still got time.
For what?
To keep the track going as long as possible.
Staying married?
Staying married and not doing all of the serious things.
Not being embarrassing. What are you talking about? You're
Kids
married.
Kids and all that.
No, you don't have that much longer, mate.
Oh, come on. I've got time.
You're going to get a dog first this year. Yeah.
Yeah, but no embarrassing exes.
Oh, gosh.
I'm a good... I select well, I think.
Yeah, I think you do. You do have... Yeah, I think you do.
I've got a good radar.
God, why
did you make that face for?
No, about myself. I was like, God, why do I select so badly? I've got terrible judgment with men. Awful.
All right.
Except Mr. Boris, obviously.
Yeah.
But with real men I've actually been in relationships with. Oh, my God. What a
Well, that's the thing.
cavalcade.
I remember talking to you about one of my mates and you said, well, set me up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I was like, no, straight away. You two would be horrendous. I know that you will be horrendous together.
Why?
Because you're both creative people.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. So this is the thing. I think your ex was also a bit of a creative. He was an artist.
Mm-hmm.
No, mate. You can't.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need a guy with a job.
Well, yeah, or he could be. But the thing is, you can't have the same person.
Temperament.
No.
Right.
Because you're both going to lead each other down the wrong.
Yes.
Like you need the which is, I think that's what's hard, right? Because you're attracted to somebody who's interested in the same thing. In an earlier episode, I was passionately telling you about trains, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, I fucking hate that. If you meet a guy who starts talking about something very passionately, not crypto, but something else, maybe that's the guy.
No, any guy who wants to take me on a bloody train in Sydney
Mate!
as an outing, no.
That could be the thing. You need to go where you are uncomfortable.
No, that's not uncomfortable. That's bored. I don't need to go where I'm bored. Mr. Boris wouldn't say, hey, I'll show you Sydney.
Mate,
Let's walk across the bridge and go on a train.
I'll tell you what,
Mr. Boris
mate,
would not say that.
Mr. Boris would spend a podcast episode talking about the bloody metro.
Oh, he would not.
He fucking would. He loves it.
I bet
He loves it.
Oh, God.
I feel like if we had Mr. Boris, Carl Stefanovic and me sitting in a threesome in here, we're just talking about the metro, fucking watch the downloads explode, mate.
God. That is the equivalent of a surf and turf, that trio. That's just like so much meat.
Carl Stefanovic for you could also be quite a
Carlos,
that kind
I love
of
Carlos,
yeah. I think that's the kind of vibe, you know.
I do love it. Yeah, he's
bit of
fun.
Queenslander, bit of fun, gets himself into a bit of trouble every now and then, gets drunk at the Logies, all that kind of thing.
That's fine.
You want that.
Yeah.
You want to have a chat with him one day.
Yeah.
You know, and say, mate, what was going on there?
Yeah, talks a bit of shit in the back of an Uber with his brother.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of that. Bit of that. Yeah, love that. Love that. But he's taken. So, but I would love a bloke like that, I think. Yeah, you're right. Mr. Boris, Carlos. Yeah.
Well, submit your men into the closed
last time we
Facebook
said
group.
that, it ended badly. So just, keep me in mind, I suppose. If anyone pops up.
Is anybody orbiting at the moment?
No.
Any younger tradies or anything like that? Anything?
Well, plenty of those. But no Mr. Boris / Carl Stefanovics.
Yeah.
There's plenty of, I'm out and about. There's plenty of
sugar daddies.
Plenty of liveys
Any
out
sugar
there.
daddies?
No.
There was a lady in Mossman who had her OnlyFans ad out rolling up and down the streets of Mossman.
Are you serious?
And that did not go down well.
With the ladies of Mossman, I would imagine.
With the Mossman, mate. The Mossman.
The men didn't mind it, surely.
Well, I'm sure, but the Mossman didn't love it.
Wow.
Yeah, the Mossman got pretty angry actually.
Oh, I bet it did. Shit.
I thought good on her.
Yeah, well,
get a bit of marketing out there.
Yeah.
In a prime market. She knows her market.
She does. That's what I'm saying. The men would have loved it, and I'm sure it worked. But all the ladies, all the bobcats would have just not liked it at all.
Jealous.
Not for me to say, but yeah. Okay.
Well, Wilco would have been. She would have seen it. She would have been like, "What would she have thought?" Anyway, look, let's move on from that.
Let's move on.
Let's get into the secrets. If you've got a secret you want to share it, all you have to do is go to the link in the bio. You can also submit them in the closed Facebook group as well. You can do that anonymously as well, so no one knows who you are. First secret for today. I told my boss I couldn't stay late because I had to pick up the kids. Have you used this before, where you've got to get out there to pick up the kids? Oh, okay.
Is it a lie or is it true?
She doesn't.
Both.
This person doesn't have kids.
Fucking hilarious.
I just really wanted to go home, pour wine, and catch up on Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
Without guilt.
Yeah.
I've kept this I've kept this imaginary child going for 6 months now. Her name is Lily.
Love it. I had a friend with an imaginary child, and his name was Jamie. But there was a real Jamie, but he was a Yorkshire Terrier. And so she would talk about, Jamie, this and Jamie. It was so ingenious. And we worked together, and it took a long time for her to confide in me that this is Jamie. Oh, fuck, I've never laughed so much in my life. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant ruse to, if you don't have a child, invent one for work. And
because nobody can say anything. Like a boss can't say no to a kid, can they? They have to say, oh yeah, do your thing. Especially today, right? Like you can't be seen as a boss who says, "Oh, can you just do your job and forget about the kid?"
Yeah. Sorry.
Who's saying that?
Get them to
what place is saying that without going to Fair Work?
If they go, "Oh God, that was the school. Jamie's in sick bay. I've got to go. Jamie, look at me. I'm constantly saying to you, oh, Christ, I've got Louie at the bloody dentist. I've got Darlie somewhere else. You know, when you're a parent...
So you're making this shit up, are you?
Yeah, I've invented them. I've completely invented the twins 15 years ago. Ingenious.
You've even had kids walk into the house and shit when I'm there.
They're
this is amazing.
Yeah, they're actors. You might have seen them on Home and Away. But I loved Jamie, the Yorkshire Terrier. He was a beautiful little dog too. But she went so far as to have a baby seat in her car. This lady.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
well, you've got to go the whole way if you're going to, you know.
Yeah, because she was...
That's going to be a question that someone's going to ask.
So committed to it.
Yeah.
And so you'd see her car in the car park with this baby seat in the back. That's Jamie's.
Yeah.
The Yorkshire Terriers. Brilliant. So I love it. I love what you're doing and keep it up.
And keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Really commit. Get some car seats. Just commit. Really just, you got to create...
It's a bit fucked up though if you do get caught.
Don't get caught. That's really important.
That's because it's going to be really bad. Is it sackable to make up a kid, an imaginary kid?
I wonder.
Could that be...
I wonder. You'll have to look at your workplace policy. Look,
I don't think that would be in
should
there.
we patch Danny in and ask her? Danny...
if you make up children, is that
she'll
illegal?
Tell us again, I'm not HR, guys. I'm just an accountant. But I know, Danny, but we just
dual
respect
roles,
your opinion.
mate. It's tough times.
Yeah, it's a crisis going on, Dan. We need you to do a few things. But you know Danny, and Danny does have real kids. I've met them. So no dramas there. I know that she's not lying about it. But I just remembered something. Before I had kids, I once lied to a stranger about having kids in the lolly aisle at Coles. Because I don't know, I just felt really self-conscious suddenly about...
What, being in the lolly aisle?
The number of lollies I was buying for myself. And I just went, no, kids, eh? And they went... I thought,
what kind of lollies were you getting though?
I was I don't know.
Freddo Frogs or something like that?
Probably. Probably those bags.
How great is a Freddo Frog?
I love the strawberry ones.
What about a Caramello Koala?
Oh my God,
mate.
Yeah, amaze. Yeah, so I probably was getting a bag of strawberry Freddos or a couple of bags of them. And I was like, kid's birthday
Good
party
times.
or something like that, you know.
How do you file it?
Perfectly understandable, but really commit. You got to commit. You can't accidentally get their age wrong one day and go, I've got to go and get
Lily's
Sharina a formal dress. So they go, wasn't she at kinder 2 weeks ago? Like, you gotta.
She's grown up quick. You know how they grow up quick?
Yeah, write a profile for each kid. Just have it in your head.
I fake phone calls in the supermarket to avoid talking to other school mums.
Yeah.
I even pretend to argue with my husband just to make it more convincing.
You're not the only one, I'm sure.
You're doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I walk around with headphones in sometimes so that way you can be listening to a podcast and then pretend you're talking to someone.
Last week, I staged a full fake fight about leaving the dishwasher open and someone in the frozen aisle clapped when I hung up.
Oh, brilliant. So you're making friends as well. Give it to him. They're all lazy pricks, aren't they? Yeah, brilliant. I mean, now that my kids are on the bus, I can go to the supermarket during pickup time, which is brilliant because it's empty. But yesterday I picked them up from school for some reason and Darlie, my daughter, said, can we go to Coles? I was like, you're joking, aren't you? I said, it's 3:30? And no, mate, it's full of mums. We'll never get out of there. You go at 10 to 3. Perfect. When
you see a wife or a girlfriend going off at their husband on the phone, do you all feel the same way where it's like, it's that?
Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. I'm sure he's an asshole.
How do you all know?
Because you all are. Yeah, it's not hard. Yeah, so, whenever, and you've got to, take the woman's side in whatever's going on. So, yeah, absolutely. In fact, the other day I was walking down the street near my place and there was a girl crying her heart out, crying so hard on a chair, the seat on the street, and all we came from every direction.
Really?
We were like, what happened? What happened? Who is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
We just knew it was a man, and it was.
Yeah.
And she was having a bust up with her boyfriend, and he'd, I think, left her there and driven away. And it was quite an astounding sight to see, actually. Just like a dozen women just standing around, like ready to fucking kill this guy we've never met.
Yeah. Kill him?
Well, we were furious.
What did he do?
Look,
He's cheated on her.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know. So we never
I
found
got there
out.
a minute late.
Hang on. So if you don't know, how can you escalate to we're going to kill him?
She was crying. She was so sad.
Do we know who?
And he'd driven off and left her there, and she didn't
She
quite
could be
know
a
where
crier.
she was.
You know, there's some people that just cry at
No,
everything.
no.
There's some people that cry at everything, mate.
Yeah, well,
There's some real criers
that's
out
not
there.
the point. The point is he had left her there, and he'd made her cry. So
Do you feel like he would have done a burnout and then left?
yeah. And I thought to myself, I hope he doesn't come back right now because there's a dozen bitches here who are ready to throw
Kill him.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was so young. She was
but
like
I do
18.
feel like, once again, as people who don't know the situation,
we know enough.
escalating to kill is a bit
Well, he
intense.
would-
I mean, can't you just question him? Get your notepad
Yes.
out like a police person and
But he-
start asking
well,
some
he wouldn't have been
questions. Do some
questioned.
investigation first,
No.
mate. You host a bloody true crime podcast.
It wouldn't have been a Charlie Bazina investigation where we kept an open mind. We weren't in a,
You just escalate to killing.
Yeah, we weren't keeping open minds. We were like, okay,
He's
break
gotta
up
die.
with him. Break up with him.
Yeah.
Never see him again. Go and get your brother or someone and go and get all your stuff. Do you want us to come with you? Do you want us to come with you and go and
Hang
get
on,
all your stuff?
I actually just want to defend this guy here for a second. What if the scenario was that she was crying because she had cheated on him and he drove off because he was so upset but he didn't? You know, like, this is the thing. You've got to, mate, come on. You've got to investigate.
I think the likelihood of that is so low. It's
You
possible.
don't know, mate. It's possible.
It's possible.
I think
but
you
it's
girls need to do some
incredibly-
more investigation as a mother's group.
Incredibly unlikely. Now, I will say I left to go to the post office before it was resolved. So by the time I came out of the post office and then I think I went to the ATM, I might have got my nails done.
You're keeping your eye on it, though.
All I know is by the time I walked back up the street, it was all over. It was gone.
Yeah, right.
Everyone was gone. But when I dipped in, it was all happening. It was escalating. More women coming like chooks. Like that.
Yeah.
And they were all perching up on the picnic table and it was like that.
We're perching up on
It
the...
felt like it.
This is a real fantasy
It
that you
felt, I
created
know,
here.
but
Like-
it's just how I'm picturing it now because it felt laying eggs. It was crazy. And then I thought, I got to get to the post office, guys. It's 3 o'clock. Like, it's going to be full of mums if I don't get there now. So I go to the post office, went to do something else, ATM or something, get my nails done. Came back, it was cleared up. It was gone. Just feathers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I imagined that. But, yeah, I mean, it happens. So
Good
I
times.
can't remember how we started this conversation.
No,
but
well, that's, we went on the journey with you, mate, and we were right there with you.
the sisterhood.
Yeah.
The sisterhood lives.
How do you file it?
I can't remember what it was. How do I file? Was it?
Going off in the supermarket at the
Oh yes,
at the
yes,
partner,
perfectly
not to talk to
understandable,
anybody.
and I love it. I love it. Yes, absolutely.
Jeez, we got a fair way away from that secret there.
Yeah, we did because it,
That was a real fantasy we went into there,
yeah,
wasn't it?
It was very evocative.
You could
for
do
me.
like a fantasy podcast.
Do you think I should?
Bloody, chicken related.
It's a bit like what's that movie, Big Fish or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, where that man retells his memories, but they turn out to be all these weird, like over. I'm a bit Walter Mitty about
We went there though.
the shops.
We went there with you.
Good, thank you.
And we're back in reality now. Let's get into our first audio secret for today.
Trigger warning contains words like cancer and death. So my pop recently was diagnosed with end-stage cancer, and I knew that he didn't have long. He was in hospital for a number of weeks, and I would go and visit every week. And getting towards the end of his palliative journey, and it had always been romanticised about, when people go to visit their dying relatives and they say things like, it's okay, Dad, you can go now, and they take their final breath and then off they go. And my pop and I were always quite close. I'd felt like I was sort of his favourite. He'd always ring me for significant events and, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, happy anniversary, kids' birthdays, that sort of thing. And so I went to visit him this particular day. He had the syringe driver in his leg. He wasn't awake. He was, pretty out of it. And I had told him a story, and we talked, or I talked. And I said, "It's okay, Pop. You can go now." And I was waiting for him to stop breathing. And he ended up living for another few days. So it wasn't as romantic as I'd pictured. But that's my secret. And the only person that knows is me and my Pop, who is resting in peace.
Oh, Poppy.
Do people hold on? Like, can they hold on
Yeah.
when they're dying? Or to,
Well, I've spoken to a lot of palliative care nurses because I worked in palliative care as a volunteer for a couple of years. So they talk about a few patterns that seem to emerge. One is that people do seem to be able to hold on if it's like
the sister's overseas, she's got to get back. Or
your grandchild's coming from Canada.
Yeah.
They're going to be here at midday tomorrow. They said you'd be amazed at how many times someone is actively dying and miraculously hangs on for the person to
I
come.
would love to know what they're doing. Like, what are they, what is the person saying to themselves in their mind?
Yeah.
Like, are they actually saying, just fucking hang on? And like, because how do you have control over that part of your body? Because I'm guessing that people die from a heart failure or they die from a, like, how do they die?
This is when you're in,
when they pass.
It's called active dying. Usually it's not a heart attack explosion, something like that. It's usually your organs shutting down one by one.
And you can feel that, do you think?
I don't know.
I hope not.
No, because
morphine and all that kind of thing will cover a lot of that pain
in a
up.
hospital, they're trying to make you not feel anything. So
you're not like, oh, there goes the liver, and like, you don't feel.
They're filtering out your kidneys. They're doing all the jobs for your organs, sort of thing. Yeah. And then, hang on, there goes the old. I think that's the right lung. Hang on. No.
I just imagine you're feeling like, we're getting close now.
People sleep a lot. It's like your body starts to put all of its energy into trying to keep the lights on. Fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then so people sleep all the time. So that's happening. But then the other pattern that they always talk about is that people die if you sit with your relative round the clock. I want to be here when Pop dies.
Mm.
Sometimes the minute you get up and go to the toilet,
they die.
Yeah.
Because they want to do it alone.
Yes.
Interesting. Why?
They talk about this theory that some people, I suppose a lot of us are scared of, we hear all this stuff all our lives about when you die, you shoot yourself or you...
Well, I have not heard that before. Now you've just got that in my mind. What the fuck? I think everyone just learnt that then. What?
Haven't you ever seen
when
an animal die?
When you die, you shit yourself? No.
Okay.
When are you seeing animals die? Well, that's
the natural way of things is when your body relaxes.
You do a fart.
Or worse. Like everything just lets go.
Mm.
But usually if you've been in hospital, if you're in palliative care or whatever, there's nothing in there to happen. So,
right.
But they say their theory is that sometimes some people get in their minds that dying will be embarrassing.
Right.
Isn't that funny? So you're dying and you're still thinking, I don't want to make a weird noise or shit myself or...
I would not care.
No, but apparently that's what they think. They think some people want privacy to die.
Right.
So they will wait until this poor relative who's just there night and day goes home for a change of clothes or goes to the coffee machine or something and they'll go, is she... Great.
Really? That's what they... Let the fart out.
Let it out.
She's been holding the fart for 24 hours.
Yeah, holding it.
So, why wouldn't you? If Grandma's lying there, why doesn't she just say, hey, can you go downstairs and get me a sandwich?
Yeah. Well, no, because
she fucks off and then
unconscious or sleeping all the time or whatever.
Hang on, how does she know
delirious.
She's gone out, like opens one eye and goes?
No.
I feel like these fantasies you're making in today's episode are really dramatic.
This is true. This is not a fantasy. This is what palliative care nurses have told me. And it happened to a friend of mine, Linda. Actually, it happened to my friend Linda. I can't remember if it was her mum or her dad, but she and her sisters were waiting there for them to die. I think it was her dad, day after day, thinking, and she said to her sisters, let's leave him for half an hour. Maybe he doesn't want us here. Dead set. Dies.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm saying, I'm sure you'll have stories about
we have family members as well who've done exactly the same thing recently where they everyone's been around, there every single day, and then at that moment they died in the middle of the night.
Although then on the other side, you've got my nan and her mother, my great-grandma, who both used to say, oh, God, can I just die?
Well, you would get to a point where you...
Right.
Especially if you're lying in a bed.
So you remember my nan was 99, her mother was 98, I think, when she died. And Grandma Heath was the worst because she was still very much up and about, and you'd go to visit her and you'd be like, how are you, Grandma? Just waiting to die.
Mm.
I'm 8. So that's a bit heavy for me, Grandma 8.
Yeah.
But my nan, she was like, it was like every time when I went to visit her, every time she woke up, she was kind of disappointed. She'd sleeping, and then she'd wake up, she'd go,
oh, for fuck's sake. I'm here again.
Yeah, it was a bit like that.
If you were dying right now, right, like in the chair, and you had the opportunity to, like, say, and obviously there's a lot of people that could watch this moment right now, which would be exciting for us all.
Great for numbers.
What would you want to say? Like, what would your last words, if you had your family around the bed, would you want to have like a big moment when you leave? Like, would you want to say like, I've always been, like, or let's just drop a bomb on everybody?
Because again,
as a comedian, do you want to go out with a laugh? I mean,
probably should. God, you got me working on my deathbed,
and you've got to go out like on a high, right?
Trying to make me go viral on my deathbed. Fuck, that's depressing, isn't it?
But I mean, how do you want to go? Do you want to say something profound?
At the moment,
funny?
I'm
like, where would you go? What angle?
At the moment, I think I'd be trying to think of like helpful things to tell my kids all the time. I've said this to you before, like I've just had a Carl Stefanovic burp then. I'm sorry. But I wouldn't want to say that on my deathbed. I think I'd be in a rush to say,
don't forget the school fees.
Yeah. Don't get into any of those credit cards that offer you air miles. They're not worth it.
Yeah. And they're not.
Yeah, I'd be thinking.
What do you do with 80,000 points? You go to Cairns. Yeah. That's it.
Flybys are a con. Don't worry about them. Oh.
Actually, these are really good for us all to learn here. So keep coming with the advice.
Don't marry the first guy who says he loves you.
Yeah. Geez, you're coming back to life a lot, though.
I'd be just rallying all my energy to try and.
Do you need to lean forward? Can't you just
because I'm lying down here, and I suppose I could. I suppose they could lean in, ideally, but I'm just trying to bring it to
dramatic.
life. Yeah. I'm a Gemini, so I'm very dramatic. Oh God, mop the floors with that
Jif.
liquid. No, not Jif. It leaves a residue. Don't mop the floors with Jif. It leaves a.
I'm not helping here. I'm making it more.
Chalk, shut up, Bags. I'm so tired.
Okay.
Stop trying to help me, Bags. I'd be just trying to give them info like that.
Yep.
How to keep kittens alive.
How do you file that secret?
Rub honey on their gums if they appear not to be eating properly. So anyway, how I file that secret is...
like the kid's going to be like with a bloody notepad there writing down...
Or recording. Ideally, I'd say video. Record this on your phone.
What a morbid moment to have on their phone.
We were taking photos of my dad when he was dying. I know it's very morbid, but I don't know why. We just were like, I don't know.
What do you do with those photos?
I deleted them. I don't want to see them on my camera roll, but I think my brother and sister...
Didn't create an Instagram account?
No. How do I file that? Gosh, we've gone so far down this rabbit hole together. I think it's beautiful. I love it.
You don't know what you're talking about,
I do. It was the lady in her pop.
Oh, yeah.
It was Poppy.
Yep.
I remember that. Because, my grandma didn't say anything amazing to me. The best thing she said, she woke up one time and she said, wasn't that Johnny Solly a funny fella? Now, he was my dad's gay cousin that no one ever talked about being gay, and fuck, it made me laugh. I just thought, what a thing to pop into her head. She's her
last moments.
Yeah. And either she never got that he was gay or she's still being polite about it. Wasn't that Johnny Solly a funny fella? Yeah, Nan. It was funny.
Just on her mind.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our next secret.
Okay, can I be real?
Yes.
I find all the Meghan Markle bashing stuff really fucking weird. I'm a fairly neutral party in terms of, whether I'm a fan of her. I mean, at the end of the day, she's a stranger. We don't know her personally. We only know what the media talks about or what they clickbait us with. And even so, what fundamentally has she even done wrong? All she's trying to do is make her way in life, raise her kids, make something of herself as a public figure, have her marriage and live safely and comfortably. And it is just so wild to me that ever since the day it became public that she was with Prince Harry, the fucking headlines are outrageous. Every day, clickbait, they're clutching at straws, trying to talk shit and bring her down in some way, anything they can think to publish that's negative. And seriously, even listening to today's podcast talking about Meghan Markle, fucking around on Canva, it really makes me wonder, has everyone in the media been given some sort of secret contract where you're all required to talk shit on her? As the BBC and the Crown set everybody up where it's like, if you're in a Commonwealth country, you cannot speak favourably of her or something. It is weird. It is weird how passionately hateful people are towards her when I feel like the woman, what has she done other than just try to do her thing like the next person?
We did get an email from the BBC.
Did we?
The Can We Be Real BBC
money.
relationship we have going on.
renewing our contract to talk shit about Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've said this
can
to
I
you
just say that I understand why this lady would think something like, when you see media just always on the same narrative. I'm not Meghan Markle. I'm not talking about
because
that.
It's obvious.
No,
Maybe the media's on the same narrative because it's so obvious.
But that would be something that would be like a question for some people that don't really understand the media. Are there contracts that go on where they just talk about the one person and they keep smashing them? I mean, the reason why they do this is because they actually get clicks from the views of people reading the stories, right? That's the reason why it's everywhere. People
hate click Meghan Markle is because she's so obviously a clumsy try-hard. And she got a lot of positive media when she was first with Harry. She brought all of this on herself. Remember when she was out there on the cover of Vogue or Vanity Fair, or the Queen took her on a train trip together, just the two of them doing events that the Queen had never done with anyone before. Remember their wedding? Everyone loved their wedding. Everyone was there for the wedding. It wasn't until word started getting out about her making people cry, all their staff resigning. They couldn't keep staff. She starts wearing Princess Diana's jewellery. She starts wearing outfits like Diana's. Harry turns into a flog.
It is a very, because I'm not into it. I don't really follow any of this stuff, right? But I do see a lot of the opinion that you have. I'd say a majority of people have
because it's so obvious.
But the thing is, I do see the there is this, and from the secret teller's point of view, I do see it's like it just keeps going on and on and on for Meghan as well, right?
Because she keeps trying lame copies of other people's successful things. She's trying to do her own goop.
Well, she's trying to do her own. The way I view her, without really caring about the details, is she's really she's more of an influencer.
Oh, she wishes, mate.
No, but don't you think she's
not even an influencer?
All of the things that she's doing with the goop and all the
she's
all
trying to be.
But does she see
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Well, this is interesting. She had this opportunity to be a princess, right? But she sees more value today in being an influencer than being a princess.
Because
that's interesting, right?
No, I just think it's a classic of her personality that if she'd stayed being a princess, she was always going to be second banana to Catherine.
And she didn't like that.
No. So look, you've only got to look at her own family. I'm sure I've said this before. There are two kinds of people in this world. Certainly there are two kinds of women. Those who fall for Meghan Markle's bullshit and those who don't. Well,
she's tried to start a few podcasts and they always fail, right?
Don't forget, she didn't even do the interviews for her podcast.
Yeah.
She had a producer do them and then she dropped her questions in later. So the guy...
which is not the way podcasts operate.
Spotify famously called them fucking grifters.
Yeah.
They don't want to work. She just...
And if you want to start a podcast, you have to work. You can't want to start a podcast without working.
It's ironic that she doesn't want to be a princess, but she wants to be treated like a princess. She still wants people to call her the Duchess of Sussex. She refuses to set foot in the county of Sussex. She refuses to go to England, but still she wants her kids to be a prince and a princess, but all she ever does is shit can the monarchy, the whole thing. So it's outrageous. I'm sorry, but anyone I couldn't have a friend.
Yulia, my wife, agrees with you.
I couldn't have a friend.
She's on your wavelength, but I do see from the secret teller's point of view as well, because there would be people that do like her. But I see, as an outsider who doesn't really care about this topic, that there is a passionate group of people, and I'd say it's the majority, that don't like Meghan Markle.
Because she's so obvious. It's offensive. It's don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining, mate.
You've said that to me before.
Yeah. It's offensive when someone treats you like an idiot.
I've never treated you like a fucking idiot.
You haven't. But that's what I'm saying about Meghan.
Are you saying I've got Meghan Markle vibes?
No, I'm sure I've never actually said that to you about you. I'm sure I've said it to you about other people, but... It's oh God, she's such a bad hustler.
Okay, I don't mind her hustle. I don't mind a good eye for having a bit of hustle.
A good hustler.
No, she hasn't been successful, but she's trying. Come on, give her a little trying medal.
No, she's a try-hard liar. I don't like liars. I have a very, very, very big problem with liars.
What's the biggest lie she's told?
Well, who knows? But I mean, her constant lying about her family, her father, her upbringing, whether or not she'd ever heard of Prince Harry when there's a photo of her sitting out the front of Buckingham Palace on a holiday.
Well, this secret teller loves her, doesn't she? Like she's passionate about Meghan Markle and she's taken offence on behalf of Meghan, I feel.
Well, I'm offended by anyone who
has returned the yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't be friends with anyone who believed Meghan Markle's bullshit.
Oh, don't know. You can be friends.
No,
you
I'm
can
being
be friends.
real.
No, you got to be
I couldn't
open.
be.
You're an open-minded person, mate.
No, I'm not, though.
This is just the one topic you guys wouldn't get along on. I'm sure that she gets along on a lot.
It's a big
mate,
one. I know it seems like it's not a big one, but it actually is.
It's really.
No,
I don't think
it's
big at all.
It actually is.
How's
massive
it big?
Because it's like, to me, it's the same.
We're not trying to lose them.
I'm not trying to lose anybody, but I can't lie either.
No, you can't.
I'm a liar. So,
no, but I think you guys could hang out and just not talk about this topic.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There'd have to be an understanding that we don't.
We don't talk about Meghan.
And certainly, I know.
can see that you don't. Where you're just like, no, fuck you.
No. I was going to say certainly I've got friends who are of different political persuasions to me. No Trumpers, obviously, but I've got people who will vote for Dutts. And while that sickens me,
well, they're not voting for Dutts, are they? There might be a Liberal voter, and then therefore but they're not voting for Dutts.
And he's an exceptionally bad person. Yeah. So, but anyway, I can do that. I can have friendships with. So I guess we just don't really talk politics. I don't, So I don't. So talk
you don't talk
politics
Meghan
at the Altona
with this
Sports
lady.
Club. So don't bring up Meghan with me at the Altona Sports Club because we're going to fall out, you and me.
And you don't want that.
I don't want that.
No. All right.
I don't want to fall out over that.
How do you file this secret?
Excuse me. Yep.
Now, how do you file it?
Be careful. Because you're a gullible person.
That was a threat? That was
because you're a very gullible
threat.
person. So be careful out there as you make your way around the world.
All right. Well, if you have a secret you want to share it on the podcast, go to the link in the bio and we will catch you again tomorrow.